Hi, you guys. Welcome to my channel. My name is Karen Odd, and these are Karen's Oddities. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Regardless, I do want to ask that you give this video a thumbs up, comment your thoughts below, even if you disagree with my content. And I also want to ask that you share this video and or channel with one other person that you know, as I'm confident there is something here that they can enjoy and or benefit from. Also, if you are returning and this isn't your first video, I do want to ask that you subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any of my future content. Let's get into today's video. I'm going to do like one disclosure statement and then I'm going to move into the actual video. If you've watched any of my previous videos, I typically don't script things out unless it's a very specific video about a travel, place I visited or something like that. I record a lot of videos. There are a lot of videos that I recorded that don't make it up here. There are a lot of videos that I have recorded that I have uploaded that are still set private that I haven't publicized and posted publicly. There are videos that I record and then like I record several others and then I upload my most recent and not the oldest. So part of the reason and what's prompting me to want to make this video is a recent breakup that I've gone through. It's been, I think it'll be a week tomorrow. And it just reminded me of some things as I'm working through my breakup. The disclaimer that I want to say is, one, this channel is not going to become a breakup channel. I think that's kind of, I won't get into what I think about that because I think some breakup channels may be great. That's great if that's what you want to do. And there are a lot of people that are going through breakups and that need that, but I don't want that to be my channel. I'll stick to the facts and what I want, right? I don't want my channel to become a breakup channel and I refuse to make it that. So 3 weeks ago, my boyfriend and I at the time, we had broken up. And at that time I recorded 2 videos related to my breakup, and I gave the same disclaimer, this is not going to become a breakup channel. But then we got back together like the next day. So then those videos, I have not uploaded them. I'm still debating on whether or not I want to upload them because they're really raw. I get emotional. I know that's cringe for some people, and that's fine, but cringe or not, for me, it's important for me to be real to who I am, regardless of how I'm perceived, regardless of what people think of me, regardless of what people have to say. I've always been someone that it's like, I will walk alone if no one else believes in it. If I believe in something and it's true to me and I feel good, I will walk alone. I have no problem having no followers behind me. So, first disclaimer, this is not going to become a breakup channel. I promise. This video does talk about breakup. It talks about hurt. It talks about loss. It talks about rejection. I will discuss some aspects of my breakup, but that is not going to be the entire purpose of this video. Second disclaimer, I may upload videos where I reference my boyfriend or having a boyfriend after this video. So if you see it, just know that those were recorded in the past before this situation happened. Those are my only disclaimers. Okay, let's get into it. So the title of this video, as you will see, is titled Brutal Honesty in the Wake of Rejection. So a little bit of background. Went through a breakup. Like I said, it's been less than a week, right? So first of all, let's just get to the facts of like breakups. If you haven't experienced one, that's fine. This will give you some insight. They have similar trends and traits and motions that you're going to go through. So I'll talk about breakups briefly in a general sense. And then I'll talk about the specific things that were triggered during this breakup for me. And then I'll talk about the importance of brutal honesty in the wake of rejection and how this is actually, I believe, because I can see the results, it is helping me basically get the fuck over it. And it says brutal honesty, right? So it's like, if this is not for you, then you should just click out of this video and pick a different one on my channel. Because when I get brutally honest and when I get raw and when I get real, it's cutthroat. It's not for everyone. This approach is not for everyone. Let me be extremely clear. It either is or it isn't. And if it's not, and you know it's not, and you know you can't handle it, and you know you're not prepared for that, just get out. Get out now. So just when we talk about breakups in general, regardless if you were on the receiving end of someone that's being broken up with, or you were on the giving end of being the person to break up with someone or initiate it or be the cause of it, breakups can be hurtful. it can hurt you, right? It can hurt you because several reasons, right? One, you could feel blindsided. You never saw this coming. Two, you had a different idea, expectation. You had a different view, vision for the future. You realize that it's like, this is no longer, it's no longer going to be, it's no longer going to happen, it's no longer going to move forward. And sometimes we start to reflect on like, how is this impacting my whole life, right? Especially when people live together, when people get pets together, they have kids together, they get married, they get engaged, their families are intertwined. That's when shit gets really, really heavy and painful, right? But yeah, you're, even if they weren't that intertwined, you think about like the things that you can't and do anymore, right? Your whole life has to do like it's a big change. Your whole life has to change. In the morning, you're not going to see a text from that person anymore. You are not going to get any more good morning texts, good night texts when you get dropped off at home. You're not going to get a text from that, or when you get home, you're not going to get a text from a person saying, hey, just wanted to see, did you make it home safely? You're not going to get that invite from this person that you enjoy spending time with every single weekend. You're not going to have someone to cuddle you anymore. You're not going to have someone to lay in bed with anymore. You're not going to have someone that those cute little quirky whatever jokes, if you got there and had those, you're not going to have those anymore, right? There are things that you're going to have in your presence and surrounding that are going to remind you of this person. You start thinking about all that shit, right? And it gets really sad, right? Because you have to remember like, damn, this is a shift, and I did not see things going this way. So I think those are some of the things that breakups can bring up for people. Obviously, there are other things like if you have children, thinking about the parent of your child, how that co-parenting relationship is going to be, if there was infidelity involved, if there was abuse, verbal, physical abuse. There are a lot of things that go into this that makes our feelings and emotions even much more complicated. Thankfully for me, this relationship did not go like super duper far. It was a 6-month relationship. I knew him for 10 months, but some of the first things that I mentioned, yeah, I'm sad, right? Like I saw this going further. Like I could see so much potential in this person. I could see so much potential in this connection. Like I think we could have been an unstoppable couple. I think we could have done amazing things together. I thought that I was I thought I was a solid connection, but I guess I wasn't. As in, I thought I was a solid connection for this person. And one thing that I didn't mention that comes up often is rejection, right? When you are on the receiving end, that awakens rejection on you. And depending on how strong your foundation, your core of who you are, depending on how strong or fragile your foundation is, that rejection is either going to motivate you or it's going to break you. And hopefully by the end of this video, if you are someone that feels rejected by a person, by a job, by a situation, by a friend, I'm hoping by the end of this video, you're going to take that rejection and you're going to fuel it into motivation. Okay? So I think I said I was going to touch on, but I think I touched on the details that I wanted to touch on regarding my specific breakup. And I can get into more like the practicality of like the brutal honesty piece. I think that when we first experience a breakup or any stages of loss, right? I think there's like the 5 stages of grief. This is even for death, right? I don't know them and I know them. I don't know them all in order. There's like denial, anger, bargaining, reasoning, and acceptance. That would be awesome if I thought of all 5. However, I don't think I did. And I might have thought of them in order, but I don't think those are the right ones. I think some of them are interchangeable. So the first thing is like denial, right? You are in denial. You don't want to do the final one. The final one I know is acceptance. You don't want to accept what has happened, right? If you scroll back a couple of minutes in this video, I talk about you got to accept. You're not going to get that call anymore. You're not going to get that text. You're not going to get that FaceTime. You're not going to get those cutesy whatevers. You're not going to get invited on a date. You have to accept that the answer was no. And I'm talking to you. This is the brutal honesty piece where if you're not ready for it, you might as well click off this video. You have to accept you didn't get that job. You didn't get the house. You didn't get the loan offer. That person doesn't want to be with you. You have to accept that person wasn't faithful. That person wasn't right. You have to accept whatever the thing is that you were denying. It's very difficult to do, but I have a tool that I use and that is working for me that I want to encourage you guys to use as well. But I'm gonna say that a little bit later. So number one, right, we can go into stages of denial, and that's really difficult because your brain is like trying to like deny what's happening. It's trying to make sense of it. It's trying to like trick you into thinking, well, maybe it's not. Well, maybe it was this one. No. We need to remove the emotion out of things sometimes. And sometimes people say I lack emotion, but I think that it helps keep me safe and sane. Sometimes you got to remove the emotion and say, well, these are the facts, right? Like, you did this, they did this, you didn't do this, they didn't do this. And this is what the outcome of that is. Like, there is no work around it. We have to let go of the things that we cannot control. As someone that's a control freak and that struggles with control, like, I have to remind myself that all the time. Whatever I can't control people, right? I can control my situation. I can control how I react to situations. I can control what I contribute to situations, but I cannot control another person. You cannot control another person. You cannot control the other factors beyond your control. You can't control the other people that applied to that job. You can't control the other people that applied to that, for that house that got that offer in before you, that offered a bigger cash offer or whatever. You can't control where your you could control where your finances are. You can't control the decision that was made, but you can control what you do about that decision, right? What are you going to do to be in a better position the next time you're in this situation? So, denial, anger, I went through, and I'm not saying that. And what I want to say about the 5 stages of rejection or loss, they come in a certain order, but you don't always experience them in a certain order. Sometimes you go from 1, denial, to acceptance, to anger, to bargaining. You can go through all of them, right? To reasoning, you can go through all of them in different stages and hop back. But ultimately, at the end, once you're there, you're going to be able to accept what has happened, accept the answer. I went through anger. I was angry. I think at the beginning I was angry because I was just like, first of all, like, I just didn't understand, how did we break up like 3 weeks ago? And then you decide 2 weeks later you want to break up again? Because I'm just like, even when I agreed to reconnect, to get back in a relationship, I made it very clear, you guys. I made it and I'm getting angry just thinking about it. I made it very clear where I was like, I don't want to have this same conversation 2 weeks from now. And what do? We had the same conversation 2 weeks from now. Because my thing was like, if I'm agreeing to do something again, then I'm hoping that it's because we both want it and we're both going to do something differently, right? Like, it's like, I had expressed that I don't want to keep trying or putting my emotions into something, and then someone's going to pull the rug from under my fucking feet and I'm going to fall flat on my fucking face. And that's what happened. Because I had no idea. That they were not feeling it anymore. Like, I thought we were on a trajectory, on improving things, but that's neither here nor there. I've accepted. It is what it is. Was I pissed? Absolutely. I felt like it was a waste of my time. That's another thing that goes with like sense of rejection or sense of loss. You feel that your time was robbed of you. But you know what? If you've recently been rejected, broken up with, denied, etc., the time that you spend mulling over the situation, just keep adding that to the time that you spent with that person, or the time that you invested in that project, or the time that you invested applying to that job. The time that you spend mulling it over, that's wasted time too. So keep the clock ticking, because you're keeping the time wasting going. So anger, went through that. Bargaining, I didn't do the bargaining. Like, bargaining, sometimes bargaining can be like, if you are religious or spiritual and you're praying, you're like, God, please, if you just give me another chance with this person, or God, please, if you just give me this job, I promise I'm going to X, or I promise I will no longer do Y. That's a sense of bargaining. The other sense of bargaining is trying to like reason with that person, whether it's the job, the realtor, the boyfriend, the girlfriend, the fiance, etc., trying to bargain with it. I'm so sorry. I promise I'm going to do better. That's bargaining. Essentially, you're trying to give something in exchange for a little bit more time, or give something in exchange for a better opportunity with this thing that you really wanted or desired. I did not do bargaining because in my mind, And this is part of the brutal honesty, right? Something that you have to have the conversation with yourself. If there's something that you're not letting go of, you have to have the conversation with yourself. And I had the conversation with myself where I didn't do the bargaining of, I'm not asking. You know why? This person rejected me 3 weeks ago when we broke up. Yeah, they called me a few hours later and asked to restore the relationship, but that was my first rejection. The next 2 weeks that went after that, I felt alone as fuck. I felt so alone and rejected. So I basically was feeling rejection for the last 2 weeks that we were dating, right? This person was not making me feel wanted, cared about, desired, attractive. There was none of that. I felt none of that. I felt like I was in a relationship by my fucking self. So I felt that. And then this last breakup, it's like, that's another rejection. So for me, it's like this person had already given me several instances where I felt unwanted. And you know what? What's my bad is, and if this is you, don't let someone give you multiple reasons to feel rejected or unwanted. Don't let someone reject you more than one fucking time. Because when you go back, or when you stay in that rejection, or when you bargain, or when you're begging or asking, what does that say about you? That says that you don't know your worth. That says that you don't know who the fuck you are. That says that you don't know who you can be with, who you've had. That says that you have put all your eggs in this basket, and that basket just tossed that egg out. It said, you know what, get out of here. No, you're not what I want. You're missing this, you're missing that. And you want to try to get back in that basket? Fuck that. Again, a brutal honesty drop tidbit. If you are in that situation, I need you to wake the fuck up. And if you've made it this far in this video, we're 18 minutes and 16 seconds in. I need you to wake the fuck up. Don't let anybody reject you more than once. Don't try to go in a place, space, or thing where you are not wanted, where you are not desired. I need you to wake the fuck up. I need you to remember who the fuck you are. I need you to think back to all the things that you've experienced, all the rejection, all the adversity, all the shit that you've gone through. And remember that didn't defeat you. Remember how you were, how you surpassed it, how you moved on. I need you to recognize everything that you are. And if you need help or support to do that, I want you to go to therapy, get that support, to start doing things, to start changing how you think about yourself, to start changing how you view yourself, to start putting an effort to feel better about yourself, whatever that is, drinking more water, going to the gym, taking more showers, whatever that looks like for you. I need you to start doing that, because nobody deserves to feel rejected more than once. And you should not value yourself so low that you will continue to go back to a space or place or person that's already told you they don't want you. It's only been once. They only got to tell you one time. They only got to tell you one time. So my mistake was saying yes after the second week, or after the 2 weeks where we had broken up 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago when we broke up and got back together because he called me, my mistake was agreeing to get back together. I should have just let it there. I should have said no. But I wanted it because I genuinely like this person. I was growing to love this person. I think I'm trying to think. I think he was a good guy. I won't call him great anymore because I don't think he was a great guy. But I think he was a good guy, right? He was a really good guy. I think he had a good heart. And I think he fumbled the fucking bag with me. And I think that whoever or whatever has fumbled the bag with you, I think that we got to be okay with that, right? You got to be okay with that. We can't control and change people. So I didn't do the bargaining because I had already been rejected multiple times. And I'm like, I'll be damned. I'll be damned if I'm out here like a fucking, like a street vendor, can I give you these apples and will you be with me again? Can I do this and will you be with, no. If someone doesn't know that they want to be with me, then that's not good enough for me. It needs to be very clear to me. And I'm going down a rabbit hole kind of, but it's like, I had to think about that, right? Where it's like, I've dated guys where it's like, it is extremely clear that they want to be with me. It is extremely clear that they know my worth. They know who I am. They know what I bring to the table. They notice all the great things about me. And I'm not meaning to sound arrogant because I'm not. Why did I say Arabic? I am not arrogant by any means. And I hope it's not coming off that way. I just like, I had to remember, like, there are people that are going to know exactly who you are and exactly what they have in front of them. And there are people that are just not going to see it. And that's part of the brutal honesty, right? You have to be okay with the fact that there are people that are not going to see that. They're not going to see it in you. They're not going to recognize it. They're not going to know. And that's okay. You can't open people's eyes. You cannot open people's eyes to see something that they cannot see. And that's okay. But you know what you need to do? It's your responsibility to not sit there. Don't sit in that bullshit. You got to get the fuck up and move the fuck on. You got to get the fuck up and do something else. You got to get the fuck up and switch it up. So I mentioned denial, anger, bargaining, reasoning. Reasoning, I live in reasoning. My whole fucking existence is reasoning, right? I spend my whole existence like trying to, and I don't try to reason with people. I reason with myself. Like my brain is like constantly fucking moving, constantly fucking thinking of things, situations, relationships, conversations, and like trying to reason and shuffle through because I'm a very like introspective and analytical person. And I was doing that at the beginning. Like I was really struggling with it. And I will say I did reach out to him once. He responded. I responded and he responded again. But the last one, I just didn't respond because I'm just like, there are things that I wanted to say, but I'm just like, I told myself like, there's no point. There's no point in responding. The man doesn't want you. So leave him the fuck alone. You know what I mean? He does not want you. He does not care to build this relationship. He does not care to work in this relationship. So leave it the fuck alone. What the fuck? Who are you talking to? You're talking to a person that doesn't give a fuck what you have to say. They're just responding because they probably feel sorry for you. And if this is a message for you, if you're at this point in the video, this is a message for you. If you're sending out messages or asking about why didn't this, that, and they're not responding because they care about you. They are responding because they feel sorry for you. So stop being a sorry ass bitch. Okay? I'm so sorry, but stop being a sorry ass bitch and stop responding. Stop reaching out. Like, let it the fuck go. Let it go. And I know it sounds fucked up, but this video does talk about brutal honesty. And brutal honesty is fucked up. Brutal honesty does fucking hurt, right? Let's just transition gears to brutal honesty and how brutal honesty, I truly believe, is really going to help me get over my ex, get over my breakup, move on with my life. And as I mentioned earlier in my other disclosure, this is not the brutal honesty approach is not for everyone. Like if you are very, very sensitive or you are very hurt right now, or it is very fresh, you probably should not watch this video. And I'm going to put it in my description. And I'm laughing, but I'm serious because I know I don't want to hurt people more than they're already hurting. Like I know what it's like to hurt. Like I've hurt. I've been through a lot of shit in my life. And I know in some of my situations, I wasn't ready to hear some of the things that are in this video. So I know if it's not for you, click out. But brutal honesty, it just, when we go through something that hurts us, it's so easy to like sit in our feelings, right? Because it's the quickest emotion that comes up. Sadness, anger, like those feelings, those quick and strong feelings, right? They're the quickest ones to show up. They show up, they're right here, they're inside of you. You feel like physically when it first happened, I'm like, I take breakups really, well, I've only taken 2 breakups really hard. no, one breakup I took super duper hard. I literally thought I was gonna die. And I've talked about this. I was suicidal. Like I went through it. But I went through it with that one, I think, because it was 10 years of my fucking life. Like I thought I was gonna marry this man. I thought we were gonna have a family. Like that was the love of my life. That is why that one hurt like that. This one is hurting because well, I mentioned all the reasons. I'm not gonna rehash that again, right? But it's like oh, I kind of lost my train of thought. We talked about brutal honesty. We were going into brutal honesty. Yeah, the first things that come up are the emotion. So it's the very first thing that comes up. Immediately when something happens that you're not satisfied with, the emotions come up. What we need to do, and what brutal honesty may do for you, and what it's doing for me, is brutal honesty is making me remove any emotions that I'm feeling from this loss, from this rejection, from this relationship. I'm removing all of the emotions and I'm sitting in the facts. That's what brutal honesty is going to do for you. And when you remove the emotion and you just see the facts, they still trigger emotion, but they don't pull at your heartstrings. When it's like, let me give an example. So I'll give an example. I got one. I didn't want to give an example related to the breakup. I want to give an example. Someone applies to let's say law school. Someone applies to law school. They go to law school. They bust their ass off. They take their, I forget what the LSAT. Is it called LSAT? I don't know. I'm terrible. The law exam, whatever the fuck it's called. And they fail, right? Immediate emotion, sadness, rejection, anger, denial, frustration, delusion, whatever. All those strong emotions are the first things that come up. And that person might get sad. They might get depressed. They may want to lay in bed. They may not want to shower. They don't want to clean. They don't want to fucking eat. They don't want to go out. They don't feel good. They don't want to talk to people. They want to turn their phone off. They want to wallow in their sadness. That's all the emotion. If you pull out all the fucking emotion, what are the facts from the situation? You went to law school. You have your law degree. That's still a fact. You took this exam. You failed. That's a fact. This is a score that you got. This is an area that you did not do well in. You studied, but maybe you could have improved in your studying. Life does not fucking end. You can apply to take the exam again. It's going to require work. You're going to have to study again. You're going to have to pay for it again. You're going to have to take it again. And hopefully you'll pass the next time. Those are the 10 facts from that situation. You took out all the other bullshit of, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. I'm so sad. My life is over. I can't believe I didn't make it. I'm devastated. Fuck all the other shit. Put that shit in a box, put it out on the curb, and let it go. Focus on the facts. You didn't make it in that school. You didn't pass that test, whatever. Okay, so what do you need to do to get to where you want to be? Right? So it's like, when my breakup happened at the beginning, and I'm not saying I'm over it because I'm not over it. I'm still going through the motions. But what's helping me, and what I hope is going to help you by the end of this video, is being brutally fucking honest with yourself. What's helping me is being brutally fucking honest with myself. I can lay in bed. All fucking weekend and be crying and turn my phone off and be watching YouTube videos and whatever the fuck. But I'm not going to do that. Right? I can lay in bed, not eat for days, not fucking shower, because that's what happens when I'm going through it. That's I sit in my feelings and they fucking eat me alive. But I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to do that because I started extracting the emotion from the situation and I started looking just at the pure fucking facts. I started looking at the facts, and when I looked at the facts, I started to realize, well, the good thing is, like, he didn't love you, so that's good. There's no, like, deep love there. The good thing is you didn't have kids. You never moved in together. You never got married. You never got engaged. The good thing is you aren't together for, like, 3 to 4 years. You were together for 6 months. Like, there's bright sides to this, right? Where it's like, there's a bright side in everything. There is an out in everything. But when something happens, we immediately go to, like, the worst. We're immediately processing and ruminating on the worst. And that's what we have to stop doing, because you can stay stuck in that place. And when you're stuck in that place, depending on who you are and depending on how strong your foundation is, how strong you are emotionally, you can sit and stay in that space for far too fucking long. And it's a dangerous space for some of us. And I knew it was a dangerous space for me. And when I met my ex, I told him, like, I didn't want to sleep with this man. I did not want to sleep with this. I mean, I wanted to sleep with him because he's cute. But I didn't want to sleep with this man. There's a freaking gnat that scared me. I did not want to sleep with this man because I didn't want to get my feelings hurt. So it's like I didn't want to sleep with him and then like us not be able to build like an emotional connection, and then it just becomes sexual. And honestly, if I think about it, which I did wait, I think it was like 3 months, maybe it was 2. But I did wait a little bit, but I should have waited more. I should have waited more because I think that would have helped us like build our emotional foundation. And here I go again doing the reasoning part, right? Where I'm doing, well, I should have done this, I should have done that. Bitch, you did what you did. You slept with them. You did what you did. This is the outcome, right? Like right now I can laugh about it. I'm not going to say I'm not going to cry later today or tomorrow, but I'm in a much better mood. And I'll get to the final point of what is helping me and what helps me get to the much better mood. So yeah, I started pulling out the emotions from it, sticking to the facts, sticking to the reality, and realizing that this isn't the end for me. This isn't the end for you. You have to remember, like, and if you haven't had moments where you felt defeated and this is your first one, I promise you're going to get through it. But if you have had moments where you felt like very sad and defeated, you have to think back to those moments. Think about how you were feeling and how you surpassed those, and you thought you were never going to get out of that dark place, but you did. And I don't want to discredit. If you are in an extremely dark place and you need to speak with someone, I do encourage you, reach out to a family member, reach out to friends, reach out to someone that you trust that you can open up to. And if you don't have someone, use the resources that are available online. There are free resources available online for you to talk to someone about whatever it is that you are going through, whatever you are feeling. There are people that will hear you, that will listen. I'm not saying like just this brutal honesty thing is going to help be a one fix for all. It's going to help some people. It helped me. It may not help you. And maybe you need more support, and that's perfectly fine. But please know that there is so much more to life beyond whatever you are experiencing right now. This moment in time is a moment in time. It's not permanent. Even if whatever that thing is has a sense of permanency to it, there is nothing in this world that is permanent. We all die, things die, people go, things go. And some things are there for a long time. Some feelings are there for a long time. But know that there's so much value in your life. And I hope that each of you watching this knows that, and you bring a lot of value. And don't feel embarrassed or ashamed for reaching out if you need additional support in going through whatever it is that you're going through. The last thing that I'll say is brutal honesty in the face of reality. What has like kick-started getting me off my fat ass, and where I can actually smile today because I was very sad. But what's helping me is I decided to record a voice memo to myself. This was just the other day. It's been maybe 3 days, 4 days. I can't remember. Things a blur. The week is a blur, right? The week is a blur. Because I'm going through a big change right now with this breakup for me. So I'm all about recording voice audios. I think I've talked about this before. I've mentioned this to some of my friends. And I think I've mentioned this in previous videos. Some people think it's crazy. I don't give a fuck. You can think what you want. Like, I'm sharing a tool that worked for me that I hope can work for you if you're up for it. Usually I will use voice memos for things like, if I need to think through like a process for work, I'll talk about it out loud, and then I'll play it back, and it'll help me see flaws in my thinking. If I have to present, I'll record myself presenting. I'll listen to it back. I'll record myself present just to get me comfortable and ready, especially if I'm presenting to like a really large audience of like 100+ people. If I'm going to interview, I may do a mock interview with myself and record it. If I'm going through something emotional or traumatic, I don't go to therapy. I probably need to go to therapy, just generally, not because of this breakup, but just generally, like, I need to go to therapy. But if I'm going through something emotional, something that's hurting me, I will record an audio and talk through just like voice memos of like what I'm feeling, what I'm going through, what's like triggering whatever memory you're feeling at that moment. And it was kind of one of those last ones where I'm like, let me just like document what I'm feeling. But no, I was talking to myself because I talk to myself a lot. I know I talk a lot on these videos, but I talk to myself a lot. I talk to myself in the mirror. I talk to myself in the morning. I talk to myself in the middle of the day. I talk to myself when I'm driving. I talk to myself a lot because the conversations that you have with yourself, and there's a video that I recorded on this that I never uploaded because I have almost 100 videos that I need to upload. But there is a video that I recorded that talks about the conversations that you have with yourself are some of the most important conversations that you will ever have. And I have to upload that video because that one, it was a good video. It was a really good video. But I was heading home the other day, and it had been a good day, right? I wasn't sad. Like I was moving forward. I've worked all week, right? I was heading home, and then I was getting sad, right? I think it was the music that I was listening to, and I'm like, this is making me sad, and I wanted to cry. Not literally. I might get sad now, but I think I'm fine. But the song was making me sad because it was just reminding me of like my breakup, the person that I was dating, and just reliving kind of like the emotions of the fact that this is no longer my reality. So, and I think I switched song, and I was like, no. I was like, you need to, you have to accept like this is what it is. You know what I mean? I was talking to myself while I'm driving home. I had like a 20-minute commute from where I was at. And I'm like, you need to accept like this is what it is. Like there's nothing that you can, and I've listened to the audio so many times now because I listen to it over and over. I listen to it in the morning. It's basically an audio of me being brutally fucking honest with myself about this person, about the relationship, and about this situation. So it starts with me being brutally honest, basically cussing myself out, yelling at myself. Not like being like, you're a dumb bitch. Nothing like that. Nothing like that. Cussing myself out like, well, maybe I can. I've listened to it a lot. I'm not going to upload the audio because I'm not ready for that. Y'all are not ready for that audio. But maybe like one day in the future, like years from now, like I'll record the audio. Not record. The audio is recorded. I will upload the audio on here so that some of you guys can take a listen and you can laugh at it. And I can laugh at it too because it's crazy. It's crazy. But I'll say some of the things the audio says just to like give you guys perspective of what. But you have to have the emotion. Like you can't just like get your phone right now, turn it on and be like, if your name is Amanda, you got to get over it. You know, it's like, no, you have to have the fucking emotion. You have to be in your feelings, in your rage, in your anger, in your sadness when you decide to record this, because it has to come out with some power. I'm not telling you to turn this video off, put your voice memo on. Hey, Eric, I want you to know that you're so cool. And if it's going to be brutally honest, it's not going to sound like that. Cuss yourself out. Okay, so let me just give you some things that are in that audio, and then this video will be over. So I think the audio starts with something like, so-and-so does not want you. So-and-so does not want to be with you. There is nothing you can do about that situation. There is nothing you can change. There is absolutely nothing. There is nothing left there. That tree does not bear any more fruit. That tree is dead. That tree has died. It will not bear any more fruit. Like there is no purpose in you like ruminating on this, ruminating on the person or on the situation. You have to let it go. What else do I tell myself in the video? I talk about the fact that, do you want to be in a relationship or connection with someone where you feel that you have to prove yourself, where you feel like you have to change yourself or change who you are or change the way that you are for that someone to accept you? Do you want a relationship or situation like that where you have to compromise who you are as a person? I talk about the fact that this person not wanting me is not a representation of who I am as a person. And whoever rejected you, that's not a representation of who you are as a person. You cannot internalize that, and you cannot control people. You cannot help people see the things that they can't see. You can't open people's eyes. That's one of the lines on the recording. I remind myself of all the things that I have going on in my life, like all the things that I have to look forward to these next couple of months. I give myself a pep talk in this recording, and I talk about the fact that basically I want this breakup and situation to be my ammunition for the next couple of days, for the next couple of weeks, for the next couple of months. I want this to propel me to helped me focus on all the things that I stopped focusing on because I was focused on this relationship, right? Like sometimes we get with someone and we like them a lot and we're having a good time. So then we kind of, well, I know I can lose myself in relationships, right? Because I want to spend time with this person. I want to make this person happy. I want to show this person love. I want to feel love from this person. I just get really excited with some people. And I reminded myself, like, you have to pick up the things that you wanted to do that you stopped doing because you were dating, right? Pick up whatever the fuck that thing is, right? If it's reading that book, writing that book, if it's traveling to this place, if it's starting that business, if it's going to school, if it's picking up and fucking moving, applying to jobs out of state, if it's whatever the fuck that thing is that you've stopped paying attention to and that you've neglected, or that thing that you really enjoy doing for yourself, pick it up again and start doing it, right? I had to kind of like give myself a pep talk in the recording. I think the strongest part of the recording though, and it's when I was like feeling so much that day. And the strongest part of the recording for me was like it was two parts at the end. It's like, I think it's the last 2 minutes. That part might make me emotional because out of the whole recording, like it makes me emotional because it's emotional to hear yourself be brutally honest with yourself. We can get brutal honesty from anyone, right? You can get brutal honesty from your parent, from your friend, from your spiritual leader, from a teacher, from someone at work. And sometimes it hits and sometimes it doesn't. But when you record yourself being brutally honest with yourself and you listen back to that, it does something to you. I don't know what, but it just like, it kind of snaps you out of it. At least that's what it did for me. And I hope it's going to do, if you try this, I hope it's going to do it for you. And so the part that makes me emotional still when I listen to it, and it only makes me emotional because I'm hearing my emotion in my voice, and I'm like, it's making me like realize the reality of the matter, right? So it's like the part that makes me emotional is where I start telling myself, like, I need you to wake up. You know what I mean? Like, I need you to wake up. Like, I can't let you like sit. And I'm getting kind of emotional thinking about it, but it's a part where I tell myself, like, I can't let you sit in this. Like, I refuse to let you sit in this sadness. I refuse to let you feel this way. I refuse to let you not move forward and be stuck by this situation, by this person. Like, I'm not going to let you do that. And then in my recording, I also tell myself, and it's funny because I said I'm not going to upload it, but I'm basically telling you guys everything the recording says because I've listened to it multiple times. But it's different when you listen to it because I sound like a fucking psycho yelling at myself. So it's different the way I'm saying it, but I'm basically sharing with you guys what it says. And in the recording, I tell myself, I'm like, I need you to wake the fuck up. And basically, if you don't want to do it for yourself, I tell myself, like, I need you to do it for me, right? So it's like, it's kind of like this psychological thing that happens where it's like, you know, you need to wake up. I know you're not ready to wake up. I know you're not ready to let this go. I know you're not ready to move on, but I need you to do it for me. So and it's like, it was like myself, and I know this is going way left, and I'm going to lose a lot of people mentally here, but the people that are tapped in, they know what I'm talking about. That portion of the audio was like myself reminding myself that I have to hold myself accountable, that my inner self is depending on my future. My inner self is depending on me waking up. Your inner self is depending on you. They're depending on you to wake up in the morning. They're depending on you to not lay around in bed every night and cry. They're depending on you to get enough sleep, to function better the next day. They're depending on you to make sure you're still taking care of yourself while you're going through something. Like, that part of the audio reminded me, like, bitch, you're all we got. You know what I mean? Like, you can't sit in this fucking sadness. I don't care how much you love that man. I don't care how much you wanted it. I need you to get up. I need you to wake up. And I was driving, I wasn't asleep, but I mean, when I say wake, I don't mean like sleep, wake up. I mean like wake up mentally, right? Like unhinge, unsnap, whatever the fuck is holding you there, and move the fuck on. Like, I need you to like function like a normal human being so that life can continue for us. Don't let someone or something or rejection stifle you. Don't let that happen to you. And if that's happening to you, I hope you're still here. And I hope that this wakens. Oh my God, I thought there was a bug in here. I hope that this wakes you up. You got to wake up. And the last part of the video that also makes me a little bit emotional, like I remind myself, like, do you remember all the things that you went through? Like, I have been through so much. That makes me emotional. I have been through so much. I mean, things that I've never told people, right? I've been through a lot. And I know that there are people out there that have been through a lot. And I had to remind myself, like, think of all the things that you've been through and how you surpassed that. And this that you're going through right now is not even as deep as what happened in 2017, what happened in 98, what happened in whatever. You know what I mean? Like, think of all those things that you've been through, that you've overcome, and you were fine. And you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine with this one too. You're going to be fine with this one too. And the last thing, and I know I keep saying last thing, and this is probably like the longest video that I have, but the very last thing that I'll say is it's really important in moments of like rejection or receiving a no or a breakup or a denial to not be angry with that person, right? To not wish ill will, because that's not healthy. Like, that's where cancer is born. That's where like heart disease and just other illnesses, like all the things that we feel, they end up like manifesting themselves in us physically in different diseases or sickness, weakened immune system, and just other elements in our body. You can't be angry. Like, you gotta just be okay. Like, I'm not angry at my ex. I was angry at the situation. I was angry that I felt like my time was wasted, but I truly wish him the best. I truly wish him the best. Yeah, I'm feeling as of lately, and I could not say that. Ooh, I just got chills. I could not say this a few days ago, but I'm feeling really optimistic and excited about the future. Specifically like this month, this summer, the last 6 months of this year, next year. Like, life is so fucking short. I'm 31. I have so many things that I want to do, that I'm looking forward to. And yeah, I'm not gonna sit in my feelings. As sad as I was, as sad as I am, like, I'm not gonna sit in my feelings, because life is so short, and it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. So, I think my longest video ever. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really hope that this helps you, whatever you're going through. You specifically, right there. I'm such a cheese ball. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to get off of here and try to start my day, because it's super early and I need to do a lot of stuff. So I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you so much.